Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new Let's Play series on HOI4 Kaiserreich. Today we're going to be playing as Serbia because in the new update, Serbia and Romania got a focus-free update. We're just going to be trying them out today. So, as Serbia, like what can we actually do? Because I know things have changed. We did play a Serbia campaign a few months ago, but unfortunately that didn't really get anywhere, unfortunately. All we can really do right now, can't do any of this until we own Montenegro. We can't do any of this until we have some coastal territory. It makes sense. Farming subsidies for monthly population plus 50%. Or bonus towards industry. I mean, neither of those sound very good. I guess we'll go for industry tech. Like, that seems okay. There is a new mechanic as well in Kaiserreich. If you go over to screen to deploy, there's now a maximum amount of support divisions. Right now, we can have 7 units total. We're already at 6. We can train like 1 more unit up, and that's really about it. I know the AI is never going to go above that limit, but as a player, you can if you so choose to. We'll also get some of our basic technologies going. In fact, we actually don't want this. We want to get the construction speed going right away. Okay, so we also have it's just the Army and Navy experience. Yes, it is. We'll take that for now. Also go up to speed 5, of course. So the Kingdom of Serbia. The assassination of Archduke Ferdinand by Serb nationalists in 1914 proved to be a cataclysm that began the Weltkrieg. Despite expecting an easy campaign, Austrian forces only managed to occupy Serbia itself in late 1915 because of the entrance of Bulgaria into the war. After the war, Serbia's southern territories were handed over to Bulgaria, while the remainder was kept under Austrian occupation until 1926. When the Austrians were forced to withdraw their troops due to ethnic tensions elsewhere in the empire, and war hero Petar Bojov was appointed regent. Since then, Serbia has struggled to survive, keeping a low profile in light of the knowledge that she could not stand up to any sort of military attack. Over time, the government has become increasingly jingoistic, and knowing that they could not hope to defeat Austria, they've instead turned their attention southwards towards Macedonia. Several diplomatic talks have already been conducted with the revanchist Romanian and Greek governments with the view of undermining Bulgarian hegemony in the region. And some say, talk of a formal alliance is not far off. Meanwhile, the Serbian throne remains empty. Austria has threatened to intervene in the event of a Kaiserreich restoration, and Vojva has complied, backing the former Prince Alexander's attempts to returning and alienating many royalists in the process. With the Regency slowly losing support, can Serbia successfully steer the course to triumph in the Bulgarian matter, and if so, can she finally defeat the old enemy Austria and realize her dream of a pan-Slavic union? We had like no manpower. We're at a nice 0. Well, I mean, that's not too bad. What we're actually making in terms of equipment, we have 2 military factories. We have 4 civilian. We are really not a great spot. President Kerensky has been shot dead. How barbaric indeed. So it's nice to get back into Kaiserreich after a few weeks hiatus after playing a little bit of Führerreich and a little bit of Red World. And I hope that people are enjoying the return back to game here. Also, we'll get you guys basically a basic offensive line. We should also assign a handful of commanders in here as well. 3-2, you're okay. We actually could upgrade you. Probably offensive doctrine, I think, makes the most amount of sense for what we want to do for now, because we're going to want to attack our way into Bulgaria. There's really no doubt about that. I don't think there's any way for me to see their force limit, because right now it's based on number of factories and then a modifier based on your military doctrine. Right now we have 6, because we're in civilian economy, we get a plus 50% bonus. So we build more factories, we can train more troops. We build more, or we upgrade this. Does it also say how much it affects it by? So you are plus 15, plus 25, 35, 50, 75 for total mobilization. Okay. We can't do anything with right now. We're under Austria's watchful eye. That should, I believe, go away once Black Monday actually occurs. So we're really just waiting for that. And then our options should open up a significant amount. Be known as Serbian Republic. How do we actually want to do this? Because I actually haven't looked. As long as it's Belgrade, it doesn't really matter which one we choose. There's also no time on this one anymore. There used to be a date. I think May 1st, 1937. They've changed this. That's a 15% stability boost, which is pretty good. Balkan democracy, political power gain, construction speed, factory output plus 15%. That's pretty good. And -5 consumer good factory. You don't matter. You can also get the Poland and Italy involved in the war against Austria. That's interesting. Organized Radical Union. You are factory output plus 10%. Pretty good. Political power plus 15, 50% recruited population factor. More organization also is quite nice. And you doesn't really matter. We need 1% population, war support, attack and defense on core territory. And then you are 10% stability. Your war support, negative 5% stability. Reduced cost for integration. I think we'll probably try to do this event here. Also, because that 10% factory output and the organization right there is pretty nice. Like, I don't think we want to do Republic. I mean, you get a lot of stability out of it, which is nice. But I really think just that 10% factory output, like, how do you say no to that? It's really, really powerful. And you should be done in just a moment. Fantastic. You also go for one civilian factory afterwards. Once we're unpaused, of course. We'll invest in you. Austria is with Rune from Italy, which is nice. We could maybe get some sort of alliance there going. Is there any other conditions for this? We have that with Macedonia, of course. Dreams of Yugoslavia. Attack bonuses just against Illyria and the Austrians are pretty nice. Yeah, no, so I mean, if we can get Poland and Italy in the war, attack them on all sides, could work out quite nicely for us. The Black Monday has hit Serbia. Ever since the end of the Krieg, our economy has been a troubled one, with immense devastation left a huge void for us to fill. Our industry was obliterated and a whole generation was lost to the horrors of war. Nonetheless, we managed to partially recover under Peter Bolshevik. A stable, though weakened economy has restructured, based primarily on the kind of lucrative agricultural exports that sustained us before the war. The collapse of the German stock market has undone all that hard work. The evaporation of the biggest markets for our produce is beginning to collapse. Our largest economic sector, and our lack of industrialization has exposed the underlying weakness in the recent economic reforms. The only thing that has staved off a complete collapse as seen in Germany is Serbia's relative isolation, which has helped protect some key industries. Finance Minister and Vice President of the fledgling Belgrade Stock Exchange, Milan Stojanovic, is prepared a series of austere measures to stabilize the dinar and get the economy back on track, which is expected to be approved by the regent when they are ready. So, stability minus 20%, factory output minus 15%, all those pretty bad. When China are going to war with each other, that is completely okay. So I'm assuming, yes, we can now kind of affect Black Monday. Probably like once you're done. I mean, well, actually, what do you give us? You give us 5% stability. You actually also modify Black Monday. You also modify Black Monday? No, you do though. So I mean, it's probably still worth it to get you, unless this is any better. No, you're the exact same, except you provide more bonuses. So I think you're just better for us. And Austria has withdrawn from the border. Though the occupation ended in 1926, the threat of a common army has remained. Vienna has an army poised along the border ever since the Pan-Slavic revolt, diplomatically ended with the formation of Illyria, a nation disarmed. Serbia has no choice but to keep quiet, not daring to provoke the wrath of the Habsburgs, but this threat might be changing. Black Monday has clearly upset the balance of power within the dual monarchy. Since today, the Austrians have begun to withdraw the bulk of their army from Serbia, like they did with Italy a few weeks ago. We do not know their full reasoning as to withdrawal. Have ethnic conflicts begun to flare up like they did in the 20s, or is there something more sinister at play? Whatever the region has left the Vojvoda breathing a little easier at night, knowing that Serbia's fragile independence is a little bit more secure. So is there anything else we need to do for you? No, I think something will just pop up and we should automatically complete these focuses in the future, which is nice. Our manpower is still low, but you know what can I do about that until we Are we still under Austria's watchful eye? Yeah, for right now, but I don't think that's going to last for too long. Not enact conscription or mobilize the economy. Really, we can't do anything. Well, Austria is a little bit upset with us. What are you? You're just probably Black Monday effects, yeah. Democracy has returned to Australasia. Carlo siege control of Ecuador. All those seem like they're not a huge deal. death of Pius the 11th. Let's see, like Serbia, Romania, Poland, Italy is definitely the biggest faction you can probably form to fight against Austria. We'll even see if Greece can remain in the faction at all. I'm not too sure. We'll probably, like, what are you? I mean, you're 18 Commonwealth. You're actually not that bad. But this number here, this 6 out of 7, it doesn't care about the size of your divisions. All that matters is the number of actual divisions you have. So if we can, like, fill this entire thing up, that still counts as 1 point against this. So there is definitely more of a reason to go for, like, these larger armies. I guess larger division templates than there have been in the past. Okay, so we've gotten you done. Let's go for you. 49 days. We can start kind of affecting Black Monday, making things slightly better for us. But Austria, when are you going to withdraw from the border? Because I don't think you have anything in here to do it quite. Like, I don't think your focus tree has changed. So it's not going to be anything in there quite yet. Did you guys pass the reforms? Probably, maybe. You pass. The bill did pass. Okay, so that probably makes it more likely that there's going to be only a two-way civil war in America. So all quiet on the front. Last month, the slow Austrian withdrawal from the border had left many stunned and confused, and new arrangements appear to have remained. With the Habsburg facing their comeuppance in the name of increased national unrest, they've left merely a skeleton crew guarding our border. It is clear that their once everlasting watch over Belgrade has moved on, and we are finally free of Vienna's yoke after 20 years of oppression. But what do we do with our newfound freedom? Peter Bojvac, our long-standing regent, and Vojvoda have been asked the million questions as to few answers to give. He knows that Austria will likely be back in greater numbers, so our window of opportunity is small. That window must be shrunk even further, still by the impact of Black Monday, which has left us also weakened. You can't appear weak and ineffective in the face of golden opportunity, and thus it's expected Bolshevik will make the political moves in the coming weeks and cement Serbia's independence. So we're no longer under their watchfly, so maybe we can actually change these things now in the future. Probably starting with manpower being at 0. Not great. Actually, it's actually quite bad. So we want to make you slightly better for us. The Montenegro Gambit. Montenegro has long been a region of Serbian interest, with an extensive population of Serbs and, importantly, a coastal shipbuilding industry and naval affairs. In the Krieg, Montenegro and Serbia fought side by side against the Habsburg hordes, and we shared the crushing loss. Montenegro has remained occupied by Vienna while we were able to secure our freedom. It is currently increasingly agitated within the Croat-dominated nation of Liria. Even though autonomy has been given to Montenegro, the Montenegro people see us as brothers, and they are running sympathies for unification. Today, a cadre, a politician, and military official that met with Regent Bolshevik with a daring proposal. Their ultimate plan is a union between Montenegro and Serbia, done through the political intrigue rather than military might, where the regional parliament declares independence following a false flag operation on Montenegro citizens before legally forming a union with Serbia. That way, Austrian intervention will have little legitimacy, and the Habsburg menace will have no choice but to watch it unfold. Many leading Montenegro politicians are amicable to the idea, with Serbia and Montenegro Union People Party long being dominant despite Illyrian and Austrian pressure. The plan is no doubt extremely risky, but potentially rewarding. The Vojvoda has promised to entertain the proposal, and speaking with trustworthy advisors on how realistic Austrian non-intervention would be, they believe Kaiser Karl, for all his many faults, would likely prefer a peaceful resolution to the crisis than a bloody one. But it's not absolutely certain. Bolshevik, the regent, will have to come with a final decision. Should we pursue this Montenegro Gambit? Do it. I mean, if we get more factories, more population, I will absolutely take it. Or we're gonna get killed by Austria right away. It's one of the two options, and we'll see which one it ends up being here. Chaos in, I'm assuming that is, yes, this city here. It appears that the situation in Montenegro was a house of cards. All it requires is a little push to fall completely. After growing unrest in the region, our subtle intervention is further stoking anti-Vienna sentiment, proved all we need to put the plan into action. A few days ago, an apparent murder-suicide of a Serbian family and a Croat soldier with syndicalist sympathies sent Progrossia into chaos. The military in the area, blamed for the innocent, had little effect on quelling protest, and eventually order broke down in the region's capital. Adre Rojevic the veteran leader of the People's Party of Montenegro, and subsequently the Montenegrin Parliament, declared Montenegro's secession from the Illyrian Union. A few hours later, another act would be brought in to create a formal Southern Slavic Union between Serbia and Montenegro, while the Illyrian army would have permitted safe passage out of Serbian lands. Just 6 hours, Montenegro had been legally annexed itself into Serbia, uniting the two nations that had been apart so long. Of course, we know the truth of the situation. It was not a Croat soldier who shot that family, but rather agents of one of the many Serbian secret societies that were inspired by the infamous Black Hand. In addition, the bills RGFX passed were planned weeks ago, double-checked to be legally watertight as possible. Unexpectedly, this course of events will likely bolster the support of moderate democratic parties, like the Democrats and the Radicals that have within Serbia, likely further eroding the National Party's control over the nation. But today is a cause for celebration, for our brothers have been liberated. Okay, we just annexed Montenegro, which seems pretty good for us. A telegram from Vienna. For the last couple of days, Vacha Bolshevik has been worriedly waiting for Austrian response to the events in Montenegro. Today he's received an answer, and thankfully to us, it's a positive one. Kaiser Karl has sternly criticized the Union, claiming Montenegro has undermined the decade of investment opportunity as received under the Crown of Illyria. However, he has maintained his resolve for a peaceful resolution like we had speculated. Austria has, at least for now, given up their claims to Montenegro, and they will not be conducting military intervention into our lands. That being said, a telegram has been one threat that the incidents against Croatian and Bosnian citizens within our Serbian-Montenegro Union will be seen as incidents against citizens of the Empire and will be dealt with as such. That's some shout. So we just got a handful of territory for free, which is just fantastic. You know, we're never going to say no to that. Do we get an extra soldier? We do. We can now support 2 units. We got one more factory. Which one was it? We got one more civilian factory, which I will take. We're building factories extremely, extremely slowly, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to be getting... Actually, we did not get a factory. We got that factory from the event before, so we actually haven't gotten... No, we did get one. We started with 5 factories? I guess we did. Maybe I don't know how many factories we have. We'll definitely get better industry, though. We need that ASAP. And it'll be done in 5 more days. Unlocks decisions for rural credit grants. I'm assuming that's also going to help us with Black Monday. You don't unlock anything else new for now. Well, actually, we do have... I guess we actually own Serbia now. Wait, is it... Are you not a core? You're not a core. Okay. We probably just want to core you right away, then. One more civilian factory. 150 political power is quite nice. We'll actually just make you into a core right now. I don't know when these are going to unlock. For a military council. 1% recruitment population is quite nice. Recovery rate and reinforcement rate each go up by plus 10%. Not too bad. Land forts. I mean, could be useful. Especially against the Austrians in the future. So what do we get here? Building slots. Building garbage. We don't want that one ever. Developed rural province. I don't know what that means. So, you know, let's get one of them to be rural. It basically means we're not going to be building any factories right now. But it is what it is. And once you're core, that should give us 370,000. I mean, it's going to be a decent amount. I mean, it's 1.5% of you. Which is what? What's 1%? Like 37,000? No. 3.7 thousand. Okay, maybe it's not as great as I would have thought. But I mean, we'll still take it. I mean, more population is always nice for us. The Serbian Navy. Like, do you give us any ships? I mean, you do give us 50 convoys for free. Which isn't so bad. We also get another research slot. Let's go for... It's June right now. We're already getting you going. Let's get the 1918 support weapons. And a national focus. The infrastructure is not bad. You just need to connect the railways. 150 political power would allow us to upgrade something for free right away. But I mean, that's 2 factories right there. You know, let's go for the emergency economic relief. You're really just making Black Monday less bad. I mean, that's still something, right? Construction speed goes up by 10%. I mean, you're basically cutting all the negative modifiers in half. And I'll take that. You know, it's still good for us. Now our front line, though, with with Austria is much larger than it used to be. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please, 1 second. Like, I think this front line is actually larger than the number of troops we can actually station effectively, because we can only put 2 more units in. We'll get you guys training, even though you don't have manpower at all. There we go. National holiday, 20 political power. I'll absolutely take it. We can't do another one of these because we don't have the factories necessary to actually do it. But we can get the White Sun over China. Don't care. Not even a little bit. Building slot. No, we don't want that. It's just bad. Like, how many slots was already open in Montenegro? I mean, it's just 1 slot. So, I mean, it could be better. But it could be worse as well. We get this going. Probably, I think, just upgrade a recruitment law. And how do we have... We're missing 1,000 rifles. That'll be resolved in 108 days. We shouldn't be at war in 108 days. Do I go with conscription or do I actually go with factories next? Probably limited conscription first. I mean, getting our war economy up would allow us to train more units, but without manpower, like, what good is that? There's no benefit to that whatsoever. Due to supplying Belgrade, that seems okay. Like, do you have any manpower? We have 4,400. Okay, I mean, that is something. Now, you should slowly be going up a little bit. We have a bonus here. So, you know, if we have a bonus... Yeah, let's use it. Get that going right away. Like, the Serbian economy is kind of hot garbage, which is unfortunate. I wish it was, like, good. Okay, but, you know, Black Monday's getting slightly better. Why it removes Black Monday? Military factories, 10 steel is nice. I think we just want to go 1-1. Yeah, like that has to be the best choice for us, is going 1-1 for you. But it's interesting, this whole recruitment limiter. I know the reason it's been added in is to kind of make the game run a little bit smoother. But it can really change the way wars are actually fought, depending, like, how many troops can can Bulgaria, for example, actually station? Can they station enough troops to cover their entire border? Maybe, maybe not. I actually don't know, because again, there's no way for me to actually check their numbers. As far as I know, like, there's no ledger in this, I think. I mean, I guess we could. We can actually count the number of factories they have, and then multiply that by their recruitment law. And that would give us an estimate. We know they have, let's say, 20... It's 1-1 plus the modifier, right? Yeah, it's 1-1 plus the modifier. So, if they have 20 plus 25%, so they can have up to 25... Between 25 and... like, 36 divisions, I think. About there. That's how many troops they can have. Because the AI will never go over that limit. As a player, you can't go over the limit. There's just, like, you know, negative modifiers that get associated with it. Peace conference. Can Afghanistan have ended their war? And actually, did Afghanistan become a puppet? They did. Interesting. I don't remember the last time I've seen the Entente actually puppet Afghanistan. It's been a while. But I do think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthem. If you've enjoyed, remember to thumbs up. If you not enjoyed, click thumbs down. If you want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.